our 4-part series of The Coming of Light is titled Neighbours. This chapter is a story about Kenya Power's involvement in Kenya's neighbouring countries, Tanzania and Uganda, during the colonial years. In 1908, the Germans introduced electricity to Tanganyika in Dar es Salaam. After World War I, the Germans lose the colonial territory of Tanganyika to Britain. In 1920, the British administration forms Tanganyika's first government electricity department. In 1931, Tanganyika's first electricity generating company, Dar es Salaam and District Electric Supply Company Limited, Daresco, is formed with the Tanganyika government as the major shareholder. It supplies Tabora, Dodoma, Kigoma and Dar es Salaam. In 1932, the East African Power and Lighting Company Limited extends its operations to Tanganyika after purchasing the privately owned Tanganyika Electricity Light Company Limited, also formed in 1931. This deal is made possible by the London-based Power Securities Corporation, then responsible for the development of mostly all electrical energy projects throughout all the British colonies. Construction of the Pangani Falls starts in 1934, 50 miles from Tanga, at a cost of £300,000 sterling. The surplus power produced by this plant is transmitted to Mombasa to supplement the local supply. Between 1936 to 1953, a further 8 sites are constructed. In 1936, Mwanza. In 1937, Moshi. 1943, Arusha. 1951 has Mbeya, Lindi, Iringa. And in 1952, Morogoro. Tanganyika achieves her independence on 9th December 1961, becoming the first among the East African states to become a republic. The new government, now called Tanzania, buys back EAPNL's entire holding of 2,955,000 ordinary stock units at par value. And as the director's annual report of 1963 has it, the Kenyan company is out and back to serving British East Africa, Kenya and Uganda. The records of Uganda show that as far back as 1904, the possibility of using the waters of the River Nile for the generation of electricity had been considered. In 1936, the East African Power and Lighting Company is granted licenses by the Ugandan government to supply Kampala, Entebbe and Jinja with thermal stations at each respective site. These developments are unfortunately interrupted by the Second World War. The war passes, the developments proceed, and construction on the Owen Falls hydroelectric scheme begins in 1949. In 1953, the Kenya government sets up the Kenya Power Company, later to become Kengen, to purchase power in bulk from the Owen Falls hydroelectric scheme. And on the 29th of April 1954, Queen Elizabeth II, along with the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, turned the turbines to officially commission the power scheme. In her speech, Her Majesty states, "I am glad and proud to be here today with my husband to open the Owen Falls hydroelectric scheme. By its size and magnificence, it bears more eloquent witness than any words of mine to the vision of those who were responsible for its conception and to the skill of those who built it. This power will serve industries that are already in being and others which will be established in the future. Without power, there can be no economic development, and without power, no country can go forward in the modern world." The arrangement between the Ugandan government and EAP&L comes to an abrupt end in 1962, following a decision by the Uganda government to purchase back all the company's assets within its territory. The East African Power and Lighting Company Limited is now solely resigned to Kenya. With that, we conclude The Neighbours. Our last segment in our four-part series of The Coming of Light will be Chapter 4, titled Uhuru and After. This will focus on the diversification and life of the Kenya Power and Lighting Company Limited in post-independent Kenya.